Today is Wednesday, April 29th. We've got a descending rep ladder today, a 14-minute AMRAP. We're going from 14, 12, 10, all the way down to 2 reps of 3 different movements. The tuck jump, ground overhead, and everybody's favorite, some burpees. Before we get into going through those and our strategy for the day, there are a couple movements in the warm-up that we want to just quickly go over. First is the Cossack squat. You're probably familiar with these. We've done them quite a bit, but there are a couple things that we want to just pay attention to. First is making sure that our chest is staying nice and tall. We don't want to be bending forward just for the sake of getting low. And the other is, you can see his leg that is out, that he's not squatting over. Rob's keeping that leg nice and straight and then turning that toe up towards the sky. So how deep you get in this is going to be up to your mobility. Don't worry so much about the depth you're getting. Just slowly work your way lower and lower and make sure that you're maintaining those couple points of performance. Then the clam shells, we've done these a couple of times, but just as a reminder, you're going to lie on your side like you're hanging out on the beach. And then you're just gonna bring your knee, so feet are together, knees are bent, and you're gonna open up your knee and kind of think about squeezing that glute to control that movement. So yeah, your glutes, your tush. All right, so moving into our workout today. 14-minute AMRAP, 14 down to 2, continuing through that as many times as we can. We're looking to at least get through 1 round and see how far into that second that we can go. Our goals in terms of how we're approaching this workout, we want to have really fast transitions. Once we get into that like 8, 6, 4, 2, those rounds are going to go really quickly. So you don't want to be wasting time lollygagging between movements. We also want to think about that pace. As the reps decrease, we want to think about increasing our pace. Then when we get back to the 14, bringing it back down again and starting to ramp up as we continue through. See if you can't hold on to that weight through all of the ground to overhead. That's the only time we're holding on to weight today, so once you pick it up, try not to put that down. Our first movement is tuck jumps. With tuck jumps, our goal is to get our knees up to our chest. We're trying to get the knees as high as we can. We're not too worried about the height that we're actually getting in the jump. Second, ground to overhead. We want the weight here to be something that you can go unbroken for that round of 14. Couple of options. We can do clean and jerks, we can do clean and presses, we can do a ground to overhead with a plate, just straight ground to overhead. You can go with that clean and press. Good, so depending on what implement you're using, if you're using something like a sandbag or a backpack, you can strategize a little bit. Maybe you want to use a clean and jerk or a clean and press option in those heavier rep rounds, and then transition into a snatch as the reps get smaller and you're only holding on to it for 2 or 4. Last is burpees. Everybody knows what these are. Rob doesn't want to do any. But when you do them, we want to make sure your chest is getting all the way to the ground, and that when you stand up, your hands are overhead and you're jumping a little. There we go. And you're jumping, getting some air. Make sure you're standing all the way up out of your burpee. Don't shortchange your burpee by bending forward. And we're just steadily chipping away at those. Have fun with this one today, guys. Pick that pace up when you get into the low reps. Really hit the gas, and we'll see you in class.